dude, I really want to work with your agency because I definitely want your help.
What I'm going to do with you guys is a little bit different than what I've actually done with companies in the past. How to get more coaching clients from your audience so it feels specific to them with less work, less time, more profit.
There's the creator side of me, but then there's also the side that has to make sure stuff gets done.
Have you ever heard hire fast, fire fast, or promote fastest? The game of business is to always try to escalate that hourly wage that you're working for. First daily bread, back in the office since we left for Spain, and a lot of learning lessons that I will go over in the Marbella videos. The main thing that I want to hit today, specifically based on my calls today, is the difference between a $50,000 per month company and a $500,000 per month company. That would be something about the pitch that I would go about. How close is that to what you're doing right now?
It's so fucking good, bro. Fuck. I've been struggling with my pitch. Yeah, I'm struggling, honestly. Because two ways, like one, it's not like the ideal client. And when it is the ideal client, it's that I'm not able to verbalize exactly what I can do for them because it just feels like I can do a lot of things, which is this, but this is just sums it up perfectly.
There are really two main differences between a company doing $50,000 a month and a company doing $500,000 a month. And the first is offer. Now, I know that everyone in the space talks about offers. Let me talk about it in a different way than you might have heard before. A company doing less than $50,000 a month doesn't understand offer specificity. If there's one rule I want you to take from this video, it's the rule of specificity. There's a core principle that I follow with every single company that I work with, which is that a company can be specific to general or general to specific, but it can never be general to general or never be specific to specific. So you can be a general service selling to a specific niche or specific service selling to a general niche, but you cannot be a general service selling to a general niche, and you cannot be a specific service selling to a specific niche. And the reason for it, specific to specific, is too small of a TAM to actually sell to. If you sell a very specific service to a very specific group of people, the total adjustable market, the TAM of people that would actually benefit from your service in this very specific group of people, take a small group of people and then narrow it down even more because your service is so specific, there's actually just not enough audience or market there to make a company out of. Specific to specific is too nuanced. General to general is impossible because you're selling to the masses. If there's one thing I can promise you does not work, it's selling to the masses. It's impossible to understand how to market, who you're writing to, who you're talking to, who you're selling to, the pain points you're alleviating. General to general is incredibly inefficient. Every company doing $500,000 plus per month is following the rule of specificity. They either have a general offer to a specific group of people or a specific offer to a general group of people. In either case, they're never selling general to general or they're never selling specific to specific. You have to follow the rule of specificity. If you want more specific help, shoot me a DM on Instagram and we can do a free audit for you. When you were doing the cold DMs, was it from content or from this?
From content.
People don't want to do business with businesses. They want to do business with people. People don't want to follow a business, but if they see Seema or Katrina or Rendo, if they see a page from one of you guys or see you guys' pages, they're more likely to be like, oh, this guy looks like a guy who's legit, or I want to do business with him. There's two types of people in every online market. There's people who create market, and then there's people who bring people in the market to them. And so example given, let's use the online business space in America for a second. So you have Jordan Welch who brings people to e-com and dropshipping. If we broke this down into content and you're trying to create market, the first thing you have to do is capture attention to someone who's trying to make more money. So it's not about drop shipping that gets their attention. It's about making more money or how people are making more money or how you make more money. Those are like your eyeball getters. So people watch that, they're like, oh fuck, I like this guy. They sub or whatever be it. Those are like your subscription videos. The second type of video is your kind of liquidation of like, this is how I made more money, blah, blah, blah. It's a VSL or a sales letter kind of video or a case study, whatever it is. And it sells the model of drop shipping. The third one is more so like an advanced video of like, this is something about something drop shipping that shows you know what you're doing. The second thing that I see every company doing at $500,000 a month better than the companies at 50,000 or less is delegation and hiring. I'll try to make this super short and sweet because I could talk about hiring for an entire month and I could talk about delegation for an entire month. One of the mistakes I see business owners short of $50,000 per month fall to is being cheap in the short term and losing in the long term. What I mean by that is the game of business is to constantly be elevating the value of what you do per hour. Example given, let's say you start a business and you have a sales background. That means that you're probably gonna do everything from setting to closing. Setting is normally a very low income role. Most setters, let's say, make $3,000 per month. Any hour you spend setting, you are doing the work of someone who makes $3,000 per month. Eventually, what you wanna do is you wanna bring in a setter so that you have a full calendar and you start taking closing calls. A closer, let's say on average, makes $8,000 a month. You have now ascended $5,000 per month in value. Eventually, you go from closing to leading closers.
A sales manager might make $15,000 per month. So you go from 3 to 8 to 15 and you keep ascending.
It's really hard to grow on one video a week. The way I look at it is just compounding effect. And so realistically, if I do 5 videos a week, which is what we're aiming for, just because I was traveling, it's a little bit off right now. But if I do 5 videos a week, that means in 1 month, I got 20 videos done-ish. In that same week, that same month, you got 4 videos done, which means over the course of a quarter, 3 months, I have 60 videos, you have 12 videos. And the amount of library that people can go back and consume my content with and get to know me is just so much more. Reason that people will want to work full-time with you is because they want to feel like they're working towards something bigger, like a bigger mission together. Otherwise, if it's just video work, no one wants to do video work full-time when they can probably make more money being freelanced. Does it make sense?
The mistake that I see most business owners make short of $50,000 a month is they're scared of hiring for the role under them. They're scared of delegating it and giving away that responsibility because they know it and they know they do it well, and they don't think anyone else is going to do it as well as they can. And the truth is, realistically, when you're starting, no one else will probably do it as well as you do. But you have to be willing to give away those roles and that responsibility and that focus to someone else so that you can start descending in what you do. I can't tell you how many companies I meet that are at $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a month, and they're slammed with work. They're so busy servicing or selling that they actually don't have time to grow the business and work on the business because they're so busy inside of the business, and they become a glorified employee. There are so many different routes, but I think the main route that I've seen is it normally comes down to fear of taking risk, fear of bringing someone on and having it not work out. I think the main difference between someone at $500,000 a month and $50,000 a month is the person at $500,000 a month knows that 6 out of 7 hires will not work, where the person at $50,000 per month is hoping that every single hire does. And the reason they think that and the reason they hope that is because they have not hired enough.
The game of business is to always try to escalate that hourly wage that you're working for. Right now, if you're doing a lot of the editing, I know you're making more, but you're doing $2,000 per month work. And the whole game is realistically always escalate the level of value of work that you're doing. And so being someone who manages editors or manages videographers is a more valuable skill set than someone who actually does the editing. And so realistically, I would like to see you guys get that. Eventually, we're going to want to have someone who actually manages the editors and you guys are managing managers. Whenever I create something, I'm thinking about retention and like just keeping attention. And I know that if I stay on this for too long, people who are just used to the TikTok era of things, they're just going to flip away. So if you watch the Hormozy VSLs, or like the Hormozy slide on stage, it's new slide, new slide, new slide, new slide, new slide. That's not because he wants to make more slides. It's because it's something to grab your attention, something to grab your attention. There's just a new thing of little dopamine, little dopamine, little dopamine.
Hiring for responsibility versus hiring for tasks are two very different things. Hiring for responsibility is a completely different unlocked mode you have to find as an entrepreneur. It's not hiring for tasks. Hiring for tasks comes simple. No one ever has problems hiring for tasks, but hiring for responsibility, meaning someone else has the opportunity and ability to mess up something in your company, that does take a lot of entrepreneurs some time to stomach. And I promise you, the faster you can stomach it, the faster you can take that risk, which is the smallest and easiest risk you'll ever take in business. Guys, I will see you in tomorrow's video, which I believe is a Marbella video, even though I'm back at home trying to find out this content machine. Till next time, happy hunting.